Hey everybody, MacLeod here today, and in this video I'm going to give you a full behind the scenes look at the Channel 18 News brand that I created for my LEGO city. I created this Channel 18 News because I'm obviously brick lover 18, and I really wanted to have like a news station in my city to cover multiple events and things like around the city. And it's also because I created the tile square mod with the huge jumbo screen where I'm going to be putting news, broadcasts, and things like that all right there, huge in the city so everyone can see. It's a new thing I'm trying to do. I think it's a lot of fun and pretty unique to my city because I've never seen anybody else do it. The first thing I'm going to show you is the Channel 18 News van. So this is not the production unit, this is literally just the van that the producers and the cameramen use to drive to the location where they're going to be filming. As you can see, the entire van is covered with the blue and white color scheme. Up front here we have Channel 18 News printed on the slope there, pretty cool, and we have a woman driver. On the side here, as you can see, we have some windows as well as the 18 News logo. On the back here we just have a stretched out Channel 18. And then again here on the side we just have an 18. As you can see on each side we do have some doors, which is pretty boring, not too special there. But continuing with the color scheme. When you open it up, as you can see, you can just pop the roof off, which is the easiest for when you're going to be placing minifigures. I always take the roof off. And as you can see, it does fit 5 minifigures. They fit in there kind of tightly, but 5 minifigures do fit, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a van that was large enough to take all the minifigures. Now I'm just going to show you each of the minifigures that travel in this van. So basically these two, they're the only people you really ever see on screen because they are the news broadcasters. So as you can see, there's one male, one female. They're the people you see on the billboards in Times Square. They're the people you see in the commercials. They're just the front of Channel 18 News, as they're the reporters, and their jobs are literally to go in front of the camera and just inform and report. Now this girl here, she is the executive producer on location for Channel 18 News. Now she doesn't really do it much when it's back in the studio, but when they're out and about with the production truck, she's completely in charge. She decides what's going on. She's like the location manager, where they're going to shoot, where they're going to set up, and she basically directs what they have to do and what they have to say and make sure everything is rolling in places and things like that. Alright, and these people are the actual production crew for Channel 18 News on location. As you can see, we have the man on the left. He is the cameraman. So he's got the studio's torso with his lanyard around the back, and when you actually turn him, as you can see, it does say cameraman. Next to him, the man on the right is the sound engineer. So he's the one that holds the boom mic and makes sure all the sound is going like on point and things like that. And as you can see, he's even wearing the headphones to do so. Alright, so next up here, I'm going to show you the production truck. Now this took me actually over the course of 2 nights to build because I wanted to make sure that it was absolutely perfect and had a lot of features packed in here. Basically, the whole overall goal of this build was to have everything that the Channel 18 News crew would need to film a news segment packed in this truck, whether that be cameras, lights, microphones, sound equipment, all that stuff. I really wanted it to be in this truck, and after lots of time kind of crunching spaces and making use of what I had, I finally managed to pack everything in. So as you can see on this side here is Channel 18 News. We have the big 18 and then a couple windows here. On the side here we have a control panel, a grill, as well as this stud here, and that's to plug the camera in to film. On the very front here, as you can see the windshield, and you can see the driver in there, and it's Channel 18 with nice slopes there. This side here is just like identical as the other side was. And then back here is Channel 18 News production unit, which is pretty cool. Up top here, as you can see, we do have a satellite because they obviously need a satellite for when they're going to be doing news, so you can turn it around and make sure it gets the absolute best sound and things like that. Or not the best sound, the best signal. How to get into the truck is pretty easy. All you do is literally pull this. Well, I forgot, you have to take this plate off, and that's just to keep it all together. And then you literally just have to slide it open. So as you can see, it is quite action-packed inside here. We do have the boom mic, which normally it goes like this on this plate here, but it did fall off. And normally, just loose in here, we do have 2 lights, so sometimes it's dark and they need some lights, so we have some lights there. We have this tripod for the camera, and this is what they use. It's a round tripod. You set it down, it moves around, and it's cool like that. Here for the executive producer, which you've already seen her, we have a megaphone because she needs to be able to shout things and be heard. On here on this side, as you can see, we have a control box, we have sound equipment, and another megaphone just for its backup. Here we have the boom mic, so this is where the boom mic operator holds it up, gets the best audio. Here we have a shotgun mic for a camera if the cameraman's just going to do a lone story and doesn't need, you know, a reporter or anything like that. We just have that microphone here. And then we have an extra microphone there that the reporter can hold. At the back here, I'll just take him out, we have the controller of the production unit. So he stands in the truck during the production and he just controls everything. He decides which cameras are going to go on screen at what time. He makes sure all the sound is synced, make sure all the credits are rolling in the title sequences and things like that. He's a one-man show. As you can see, there's not too much room in the bus, so he does everything like that himself. Very talented. At the back here we have a phone, again for the producer to have so that she can communicate. There's a phone right here and a phone here, so she can kind of communicate with the truck as well as the main studio. I knocked one mic over here, but as you can see there are two mics that are supposed to be hanging on the ceiling, one for each reporter so they can do their news talks. At the back here we do have this door that opens up and it reveals the camera, which it doesn't actually fit through that door, but the idea is it's made to look like it. And then we have the camera, you attach the lenses here, you move the sticks back here and they're used to control the camera, and there you have it. You have the professional huge movie style camera. I love this piece. Attach it to the tripod there and there you go. Your news crew can film whatever they want. They can rotate it and swivel it using these little mounts here, and that's what they're designed for. Back in the control panel, back in the truck, just so you can see what's going on, we have a little TV screen there, a bigger TV screen there on the wall, and then we just have some mixing board, control panels, computers, things like that. We also have this little microphone so we can talk to the cameraman saying like he wants maybe a different shot or a different angle. He can communicate there, as well as he can communicate with the producer using this thing here. He can also talk to, with special buttons in here, talk to each of the reporters, say he wants them to move to the left, or he wants them to say something specific. That's kind of what him and the producer do together. They kind of talk through it and make sure everything runs smoothly. Off to the side here we have this control box I already talked about, and this is actually the wire that I use to connect the camera to the truck, because even though technology is pretty up to date now, these are really expensive cameras and they can't just do it all wirelessly. They need some wire still. So as you can see, it just attaches to the bottom of the camera here and connects to the side of the truck here, which is pretty cool. It films it like that. You can move it quite a distance away. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to move it that far away, but you could, and it's just the fun idea there. Now, as much as I really like this truck, the hardest part is definitely trying to pack things up to get it back in the truck, because I spared no space, and there's literally no space that's not taken up when the door is shut, or by either the ceiling or things like that. Alright, now I'm going to show you the actual Channel 18 News physical location that doesn't move, and as I said, it is the top floor of my Grand Emporium. So on the very top floor, I did build this Channel 18 News sign. It's just big Channel 18 News, as in it has these lights on each side just to broadcast it and let everybody know you're watching Channel 18 News. Behind that there is an antenna that just goes up to this billboard here, and then the antenna actually continues and it goes up to the aerial satellite so it can broadcast to Times Square and all your TVs and things like that. The satellite from the production unit broadcasts to this satellite there, and this satellite broadcasts to everywhere else. When I remove the top here, you'll be able to see what's inside. Just like the production truck, all the space is pretty much utilized because I wanted to get the most space out of what I could, because they are pretty small floors. They're not even quite a 32 by 32 base plate, because they have this curve at the front as well as a staircase going down. So I had to do some adjustments, but I managed to make it work. And I'll be the first to admit this part of the video is going to be really hard to see just because there are so many utensils and things packed in here. It's not going to be the best way to show you all the details, but I'm going to do my best. So at the very front of the studio here, looking out over the city, we have the news people's desk. We have the reporter's desk. So as you can see, it's a nice big curved desk and it looks very nice in the area I think it's in. I think it suits the window quite well. As you can see, there's two chairs, two coffee mugs for when they're filming and things like that. And then at the back here, there's this huge bouquet of white flowers that normally looks out onto this circle window. And as you can see, I knocked one of the window parts out. So pretty much that's what it looks like on the inside. Really hard to tell that though, but that's sort of what it looks on the inside. As you can see next to that on the ceiling there are two huge lights. That's to make sure that everything's perfectly illuminated and make sure there's no shadows or anything like that. Over that, as you can see, there's also this really big boom mic pole to sort of eliminate the need for boom mics in the studio, especially when they're filming at a location here, like where they film every day. It just makes more sense. Right there, as you can see, there is a teleprompter there, so they can just kind of look into it and read what they have to say, or pointers and things like that. Behind there in the shadows here, as you can see, is one of the executive producers. There are 2 executive producers on the floor at all times. We have a man and a woman, so he's just kind of observing and making sure everything's running all right. Here's what the new set does look like from the other side. As you can see right now, there are 2 cameras on the floor, so we have the one main camera focusing on the desk and making sure they get those reporters' reactions and, you know, filming them obviously. And then we do have a second camera here which is filming towards a green screen. We'll talk about it later. As you can see, this is what the teleprompter looks like from the other side, and there's the reporter there, and then the big boom mic and things like that. Here we do have a sound grill, just because it's always good to have backup sound and audio equipment, and plus there needs to be audio for the green screen. Back to the green screen, as you can see, this is what it looks like on the side. All news stations pretty much use green screens if they don't use big plasma TVs, because they're expensive, and green screens work very well for the weather and things like that. So as you can see, there's a separate camera to film the green screen, and if they need 2 cameras, which is not often, they can just turn it around and utilize that. We have the camera woman here ready to film. We have the sound lady here, and I should really change their hair pieces around because it would make more sense for the headphone piece to be on this girl. But whatever. We have the other cameraman here, and at the bottom here we have the other executive producer. Now she's right now in constant contact with the production room and the production vehicle and things like that, because as you can see, they're all using matching cell phones. At the very back here, as you can see, is the door into the studio. Now to get in, you have to type in a special password, use a fingerprint recognition. It's very, very important because, as we know in the world, celebrities can often be targets. Now, I mean, Channel 18 News is not the biggest celebrity outlet in the world. I mean, we only have 2 reporters, but still pretty important to keep them safe. As you can, well, sort of see, we had the exact same kind of security measures out here, as well as the news door, and I won this white one because you can only see a little through it, not too much, and that's what I really wanted. Here we have the 2 red signals. Now that's to let you know that we're live, and we're live on the other side to not interrupt, and so the news people know when the cameras are rolling. Now tucked in the very back, as you can see, is the behind the scenes area. So right now there is only one man in it, and it's very, very dark, so I'm going to try and move my light over so you can see a little more, but still pretty cool. There's lots of control panels, and there's even a camera hanging in there with a huge TV screen. It's super hard to see, I know, I apologize, but there is a big news screen, lots of computers, microphones and things like that, just so they can communicate with the outside world. And then when you get back into the floor here, one of my favorite features is this train door, so it just slides open to completely reveal sort of what's inside there. I really like the use of these doors here. Especially it hides the production unit just so nicely. And I'm pretty sure all this is out of focus, but you get my point. Thanks everybody so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you don't think I'm too crazy, the fact that I have a whole made up news station and like a lot of stories and things to go behind with it. But back when I was a kid, I really wanted to work in like a news station, not as a reporter or anything like that. Mainly just as like a behind the scenes or an executive producer, because I was really interested in that kind of stuff. Film and TV really does interest me, so that's why I can talk a lot about it, because I'm truly passionate about it. Now I don't know everything, mind you, but I still like to talk about it and act like I know things about it. But I really did hope you enjoy. I spent a long time kind of making these characters and just building these vehicles and the sets to kind of accurately represent a news station. Now I've only ever been to one news station before for a tour, and that was a couple years ago now, so I'm just kind of trying to remember what it kind of had and things like that so I could accurately create that. But I did hope you enjoy. If there's anything you noticed that I said was incorrect or you think I should change, please feel free to let me know, because I'm always looking to improve, and I, as I said, love talking about the subject. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks everybody so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and a comment, as well as subscribe to my channel. I really hope you enjoyed, and I can't wait to see you back for another LEGO video.